What's up, guys? It's your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh! Superhero, Ben 10,000 of YGO, and today, guys, you're probably wondering why you're only looking at my avatar. Well, the truth is, I am doing something different today because I am riddled with preparation because I am attending a regional tomorrow, or not tomorrow, this weekend, here in my lovely Lone Star State. So, I will be preparing for regional here in Texas, and so today you're getting me being silly. I hope you guys can handle this. We're going to be I know you're not going to be staring at my avatar the whole time, I promise, but we are going to be discussing on how we can beat this monstrosity. This is this is an example of the winning deck from, YCS New Jersey. Trickstar, Sky Striker. So basically, I'm going to be going over the ways on help you guys beat this deck. And if you happen to have in a tournament, even if you're locals, there's always at least one guy at the locals who plays the most competitive deck that there is in a format. There's always at least one. So today I'm kind of going to give you a way, or give you an idea on how you can fight this deck, and possibly maybe even give your, anti-meta deck or your rogue deck a chance to counteract this thing. And, who knows? Maybe whatever I miss, you guys will fill in the blanks on the way. So, let's get into it. The first thing we're going to analyze is the Trickstars. Yeah, these trap ladies. Ugh. And I did use the term trap in a derogatory way. I'll admit it. But this thing is just... this deck is horrible. I can't stand the Trickstar deck. I honestly feel like people who play this deck are really just trying to take advantage of the new end of match procedures. So I really don't think this deck is the best deck of the format, because it actually is the best deck. I think it's just the best deck out of circumstance. Because if we were still playing this with the same end of match procedures, this wouldn't be the deck that wins. I'm calling it. I don't care. Alright, so first things first we're going to talk about is the weaknesses of the deck. And we're going to start with hand traps. That's the easiest way to start. And obviously you don't always have to stick with just Ash Blossom. You can also go a little on the cheaper end if you need to. But hand traps are a very signature way. The Trickstar deck is actually, like most decks in the game, doesn't dodge hand traps very easily. So, depending on what deck you're running, there's definitely a hand trap that will suit your needs. The next thing you can do is back row hate. Sorry, I had to take a drink of water. The thing about the Trickstar deck is it's very field spell reliant. So without their field spell, that's their prime searcher, and then you can just just pop it away. I mean, if nothing else, you make them waste a resource and have to use another resource to get it back, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, there is always the ability that some of the certain hand traps have the ability to jump out of the hand, but via card effect, you can use various floodgates, like Mind Drain, for example, to say, no, none of that. Now, this would hinder your ability to use hand traps, so obviously people make card choices that fit whatever the deck that you're playing is. Don't play Mind Drain, Ghost Ogre, and Ash Blossom. That's all I'm going to tell you. Just please don't make that goofy mistake. The next thing we're going to talk about is the militaristic side of the deck, the Sky Strikers. Now, I know there's been a ton of videos out there talking about the weaknesses of the Sky Striker deck, but just for argument's sake, we're going to go ahead and rehash that out and go over that again. So the first thing that is obvious is that we can battle them out because they are with anti-spell based cards. Basically, the whole deck is that. Basically, they're all spell based. So with anti-spell fragrance, Imperial Order, and cards of the like, we can basically shut down the deck. Now this part of the video will work if you're up against a regular Sky Striker deck or the Trickstar Sky Striker variant. Basically locking them out of that Sky Striker side of the game. And there you go. So the Sky Strikers are heavily spell reliant. That is the absolute best way to take them on, is to throw out a monster, spell, or a trap that says, I don't want you using your spells. Now, you're probably thinking at this point, but Ben, these two decks, even on their own, are powerhouse decks, and now they're basically combining to beat the teetotal snot out of me. And you're absolutely right. And because these two decks have combined, we do have a weakness that we can exploit. So, for example, the first thing that we can exploit is the fact that the Sky Strikers, all their monsters are warriors, and the Trickstars are all fairies. So floodgates, like Rivalry of Warlords, for example, will force the opponent to pick one or the other. Or are you going to fight me like a Sky Striker deck, or are you going to fight me like a Trickstar deck? Now, this clearly won't work for everything. Please use a deck of, based on your own discretion of whatever deck you're trying to build, but make sure that you pick an appropriate floodgate that will help you. Another thing that we can do is anti-spell stuff, because in truth, the Trickstars do need their spells too. They like to act like they don't, but they absolutely do. Anti-spell fragrance and the cards of the light also stop the light stage, the terraformings. You completely shut down the deck almost, and you make it into a fist fight. And when it's a fist fight, that deck can't win. Obviously, also, both decks are hindered by hand traps. Like many of the decks, cards like Ash Blossom and Ghost Ogre can hurt both of these decks. It's just about timing and picking the right cards to hit and win. Another thing you can do is piggyback off of both of these decks' ability to draw and add cards to their hands by playing cards like Shared Ride. Oh, that's cute. You want to add a bunch of cards to your hand? Well, I'm going to draw every time you do that. Just every time you do that. Go ahead. Give me a card too. So there you go. That's a big bunch of the handful of things that you can do to take on the Sky Striker Trickstar deck. Another thing, a real quick thing that I would want to add is to pick cards that are chainable and that you can activate outside of main phase, like quick play spells, for example. The reason I want to go ahead and throw that out there is because with that idea, you make the cards like Reincarnation harder to use, etc., and that won't do as much damage. If you guys enjoyed this video, I know this is a little out of my normal style of videos, but I hope you'll bear with me. This is only going to be something I do when I have to go out to like a tournament, or have to prepare, or have to work on other projects. So today you got a goofy Ben 10,000 discussion video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and let me know that you enjoyed it. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe, because I need all the help I can get. I'm so close to breaking that 100 wall. So help me out, guys. Share with your friends. Let them know that I am out here. And for you guys who are currently already my followers, check me out on my other social medias. Links to those pages will be in the description of this video. And that's all I have for you today. I am Ben 10,000 Wajo, your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh! Superhero. So come back on here on Sunday, and I'll have a video for you guys, probably telling you how bad my regional went and what I learned and all that stuff. So come back for that, and I'll see you guys Sunday. Peace, guys.